Hey, good people. I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist. Today we are talking about stress. Stress. I feel like that's the way I should say it because when I think a lot of us hear that word stress, automatically we can kind of like feel it in our bodies. Stress. What a not fun word. But here's what matters. What an important word, what an important life experience stress is for us to look at, to think about, and to make sure that we are managing it in the best way possible. Why? Because when we experience stress in our lives, if we don't manage it well, it can come out in all kinds of negative behavior. Stress can cause not only negative physical effects, but stress can also cause all sorts of unhealthy behaviors that one can engage in that can only make a person's problems worse. So managing stress, that is just like half the art of life, right? Learning how to manage stress better. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And what I want to talk specifically about is the sort of the mindset that we use when we think about stress. How do we feel about stress? If stress, for example, were a person, do you hate that person? Do you hate stress? Or would you say you like stress? How do you feel about it if it were a person? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is think about a simple, quick association exercise. This is something I really like to do in my clinical work with clients. When we take a certain concept, I will ask them, close your eyes and just ask yourself what the first things are that kind of flash into your mind. What are your associations to this word? So if I do it right now, I'll show an example. Stress. The first thing that flashed into my mind was like an exam, a desk in school. Makes sense, right? I spent so many years in training. But there would be other associations, other flashes that I would have. Maybe words would just kind of like appear in my mind if I had continued that exercise. So for you, when you think about stress, what pictures come up for you? What images do you see? What words flash in your mind? For some, when they think about stress, maybe a second later, they might think money, right? Money stress. How many people deal with money stress? I think that financial stress is the most common or one of the most common sources of stress that people have in life. So, what we are going to do in this video is we are going to talk about a way that you can shift how you think about stress that can be better ultimately for your mental health. Now, there is a really important researcher, Karen McGonigal, who has lectured at Stanford for years, and she talks about the importance of not just reacting to stress as if it is our foe, as if stress is bad and it's the enemy, as if it is an interloper that sort of like took over your house and to get it out, stress is bad. The opposite, to accept stress, to embrace stress. Now, that concept, I understand, sounds absolutely nutty. Embrace stress. Why would we want to embrace something that we know is associated with negative physical effects, negative mental health effects? Why would we embrace stress? Here's the point. We aren't saying stress is amazing. We're glad we have it and we're not doing anything. We're just waiting for it to pass. No, we are shifting our mindset about stress, embracing it by saying, what is the good that can come from this stress? What about stress is positive? Is there any way that we can use this stress for something positive, for something good, to motivate us, as opposed to just thinking, well, this is an unkind visitor that I'm taken hostage by now, and I need to let my stress just hijack me, like throw me into a car and just take me wherever it's going to take me. Stress, I can't control it, I can't handle it. No. The research shows that actually shifting your mindset about stress to embrace it and see what can be positive about stress, can be better in the long run. So there are 3 beliefs that you can learn to have about stress that can help you embrace it and see the positive about stress. This is a positive mindset of resilience that you say, I can get through this. I will get through this. All right. Now, I want to talk about the 3 beliefs that are associated with embracing stress, and you can think about whether this might work for you. Number 1, view your body's stress response as something that is helpful, not debilitating. You can think about this stress, because it's not debilitating and it's helpful, as energy that you can use as energy, as opposed to saying, I'm stressed and I'm nervous and I don't know what to do. I hate this. I want to get these feelings out of me. To say, actually, I also have energy. Let me use that energy for positive things. Okay. Number 2, viewing stress as something that you are strong enough to handle, that you are able to handle. So you think to yourself, boy, I'm stressed. I'm in one of the most stressed phases in my life. To say to yourself, but I can handle it. I can handle it. I've handled it before and I will handle it now. I can handle it. When I said it just that way, I can handle it. My central nervous system, I could feel inside my body. I could feel it relax. So it is to say to yourself that when you deal with stress, you can handle it, that you're strong enough. But also, here's the catch, to say that you also may learn from this stress, that you may take something from this stress and you may learn from it. And 3, that stress is something that everyone in life experiences, that although if you're in a really stressed place in your life, you may feel that you are the only one. It can feel like it's only you. You can almost get stuck in self-pity, feeling like you're the only one. You're trapped in it while you look out the window and everybody else seems just fine. Maybe a friend calls you and they're in a great mood. Sometimes in these moments of stress, you can feel like the only one, and it's a terrible feeling. So, the 3rd belief is to remember to normalize this stress, to say, everybody goes through stress. I am not the only one. And we all, as human beings, are wired to get through stress, to be strong enough to endure. You can say to yourself, one thing I never do is give up. One thing I never do is give up. And saying it in that kind of light and breezy way, but also confident and firm, well, you hear yourself say that. And in that way, you can find yourself acting your way into strong thinking. There is value a lot of times in repeating some of these positive statements, some of these positive beliefs. Why? Because anything you practice gets stronger. Anything you practice gets stronger. Remember that. Carry this with you. I hope this little insight nugget is something that you can take with you. If you want, by the way, you can also follow me on Instagram, Dr. Seth Psychologist, and I will see you next time.